Great having Ariane Lipski back here on the program. Is going to be back in action on September 4th at UFC Fight Night. Ariane, how are you today?
I'm great, thank you. And you?
Doing very well as well. Good to catch up with you. It seemed like you got a decent amount of notice for this fight. When did you find out about the fight? Because I know you stepped in to take on Mandy.
Yeah, so I just back to Florida. I don't remember exactly the day, but it was in the beginning of July. And then I came back to help Mara because she had a fight coming. So I already was practicing Brazil. And then when I came back, I started to sparring very hard to help her. And I felt great, but I was not too worried about fighting sooner. I was more worried about getting better and every day learning. So and then that fight just happened. She's supposed to fight against Tyler, and I think Tyler had some problem with her visa. So they just called us, and I talked to Renato, my coach, and he thought that was a great idea. And then he talked with Conan at American Top Team, and everyone saw that I was helping, that I already improved my game. And okay, let's do this. It's a great opportunity to show our improvements.
That's great. I'm glad it all worked out. Was this the right amount of time off in between this fight and your last fight? Like, was this the right amount of time off?
Yes, I think so. Usually, in the beginning of my career, I used to fight sooner. And there's a year that I fought 5 times in a year. So I'm young. So I think that fighting is how I get experience for my age. And I'm a kind of fighter that really like to fight, to improve. I really like that my routine had a fight coming and training and get improving. So I feel excited when I had a fight schedule. So I think this is a good time. 3 months, 4 months. In the beginning of the year, my goal was fight 3 times this year. So I think that can happen.
Yes. Yeah, the way things are looking, it's looking pretty good. What have you learned the most from your last 2 performances? I know not the result you wanted, but you always learn more from a loss than a win.
Yes, exactly. I learned a lot. I grew a lot, but I think what I most learned is work harder. I feel like I had a great striking, in my division, a very high level of striking, and no one would strike me. But I just will be able to show that when my grappling be at the same level, And so I'm just working harder and fix my mistakes. And I saw that all fighters pass for this moment, of that transitions. And that happened with my 2 last opponents. You could see that De La Rosa that had some not good result before she fought against me. Antonina was the same. She was a very good striker, but her grip was not good. And then when she fought against me, she showed that improvement. And I feel that now is my time to show my improvement.
Yeah, and we're very much looking forward to this fight. Before we talk about that, I know you got to go back home to Brazil. How was that? Because I know you hadn't been back in a while.
Yes, it was great. We saw our family. We could not visit so many people because about the COVID situation, there is still a little hard, But we could, fix everything because we just came live here like very, very faster. So we fixed everything there. We went out our gym, visit our family. But to say the truth, I was excited to back home. I feel like here now is my home. I was excited to back home and train, and we really, really like to live here.
That's great to hear. I'm glad to hear Florida has worked out really well for you. When you were back in Brazil, you mentioned doing a bit of training. Who did you get to work with in terms of training partners or coaches? Who did you get to train with back in Brazil?
Yes, I'm lucky to have my head coach all the time with me. So as soon as I was recovered from my last fight, we just went at our gym there, Hastai, and I trained with my partners like I used to train when I lived there, and fix the mistake. My head coach is a very, very tough, very well-rounded coach because he's striking. He's a brown belt of jiu-jitsu, and he has been learning a lot at American Top Team. He not only teach me, but he also trained with the best. So we were there, and he was, taking care of everything that all the mistake that I already did in my fight, he was taking care to fix that. And when I came to Florida, went back to Florida, I was like ready, ready to test, and I was striking, I was sparring, and I saw that I really understand, really understand what I did in my last fight. I was ready.
Let's talk about your opponent here, Mandy Bohm. She's undefeated, 7-0. How do you feel like you match up against her in this fight?
I feel very excited with this fight. Like I said it to you before, I was not worried to fight sooner, but that opportunity just happened to me, and that was like I always did in my career. I'm always ready for opportunities, and I had a good feeling with this fight, so I'm excited to show my improvement and to see how the fight will happen.
You have 20 career fights. She only has 7. How much do you feel like your experience will play into the fight?
So she has 7, but she already had a belt and she fought in Bellator, so she had some experience. I feel like I remember my first fight in UFC, that you want to show that we are ready for, to fight against the toughest. But I feel that my job is to show that she isn't, I passed for that moment. I fought against the toughest in my divisions. So now it's time to show my improvement, how much I have been growing. I know she will come, with everything that she had. But for me, it's the same. I will fight with my heart. I will show everything that I have. And I think that my experience will make the difference in the fight.
And training partners at American Top Team, who are you mainly getting to work with as far as bodies in the gym?
Yes, Mara Morel is my my partner trainer that I'm most training. Since my last fight, my last training camp, she was helping me. Now I'm help her for her fight, and have been sparring a lot. But I'm lucky because at American Top Team, there are so many different fighters, girls fighting that is, starting, and another fight with so many experience, grapplers, wrestlers, striking, so many different fighters, and I can train with them in the class. But in the two last weeks, I'm like very, very happy. I feel blessed to have the luck to learn from Amanda Nunes. She's really helped me a lot, show me a lot of details that she knows that can work in my game. She's a very humble fighter person. I'm learning a lot from her, and I feel like I had some surprise to show in my next fight. And Nina also is helping me a lot, sparring with me, and her strike. She's striking, and her game is a little similar than my opponent. So I'm learning a lot from them. I feel like it's so amazing the energy that they have, and I'm taking that energy for me. I really feel like they work as a team, and I make part of this team.
Great. I'm glad to hear everything's going well. How about the weight cut? I know we're a few weeks away. How's the weight cut going?
Yeah, the weight cut, there's no secrets for me. I have been doing this for a long time. I just started the weight cut 2 weeks before the fight, but I just changed something in my diet. But it's the hardest part in the fight week. And the goal is still the same, lose weight, cut weight healthy, and is try to recover as much I can to get strong in the fight.
I'm sure your husband will be in your corner. Who else is going to be in the cage with you that night as far as your cornerman?
Yeah, it will be Renato Silva and Conan Silveira. They will be with me, and there's my partner trainer, Evelyn Martins, that goes in the fight week to help me, drilling and everything that I want to keep doing the fight. She will be there to help me.
How do you see the fight unfolding on September 4th?
So I'm not good for predictions and
no problem.
But the one thing that I know, I will be in my best shape. I will be ready for everything, and I will take that win. And now how it's gonna happen, it's hard to say. I think that's the most exciting about MMA. We never know what's gonna happen. With MMA, you have to be prepared for everything. So I feel confident to get the win, and it doesn't matter how it's gonna happen, you know.
You mentioned wanting to fight, get your 3 fights in this year. If you come out of this fight healthy, when would you like to fight again? I'm assuming November, December. Would that be ideal?
Yes, I think November, December is a good time, you know. I think the most thing that we have to care is about the weight cut. When we can't like take another fight sooner because we have to recover and get help to start another cut weight process. So I think November, December is a good time to fight, and I hope I can fight one more time this year.
Did you watch the Olympics this year? I know a lot of fighters were, tuning in to see some of the judo and the boxing. Did you watch the Olympics?
No, I'm sad I could not watch. No, I'm so tired training a lot, and when I come back home, I'm like, oh, I need to rest, and then next day I have to train hard. But for sure, I was looking for the news, and I'm happy because in Brazil I had a good result. If you really look like in Brazil, I had no support. All the athletes there is really hard. It's really hard. They be where they are. So I'm proud of my athletes, not proud of how my country treat the athletes there, but I'm really, really proud of the athletes, and I hope that Olympics had example for the others person that came from a very, very hard life, and they see that they can change their life if they really want, if they really work hard.
Love it. That's very well said. So you talked about it there, not much free time during training camp. Are you still going to the beach? I remember that's something we talked about last time. Are you getting to the beach at all?
Yes, this is what I really like to do. I'm a person, like I said to you before, I like my routine. I like to train a lot. I like to have the fight coming and in being a training camp, but also I feel tired. And the way that I found to recover and also enjoy, have a free time is going beach, and I'm lucky. I'm really loving living here because here there's so many beaches that I didn't have time to go for all the beaches yet, but I feel like I really recharge my energy. I feel ready for next week. I like to be in a contact with the nature and get sun and everything. Like this is what I like to do. For sure, I want to maybe after my next fight go to Orlando, go to Disney in the universe, to really know some funny place. But when I'm training, when my training camp, I go to the beach. It's my hobby.
Ariane, thanks so much for doing this. Always good catching up with you. It is UFC Fight Night coming up here on September 4th. If there's anyone you want to thank, any sponsors, any social media you want to plug, I'll give you the last word.
Yes, so I want to plug Fusion CBD, my sponsor. We have been working for a long time, and they help me a lot to recovering and get ready and strong for my fights. Also, my social media, Ariane Lipski, in Instagram and Facebook, and also in Twitter also.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.